Well, we had some good winds here in Portland, Oregon, probably a couple weeks ago now. It's been a couple weeks, and as you can see behind me there's some branches blown down into the paths. And so, yeah, yet another excuse to not plant my garlic and instead play with my branch shredder. Yeah, I've been enjoying that branch shredder, but the only problem is now I have a bunch of leaves kind of lying around with the branches, and it's hard sometimes to separate the small twigs from the leaves, which just inspires me to get another device, a leaf mulcher, because the branch shredder isn't really designed to shred up the leaves. It won't do that. They'll just kind of mush up the works in it. Of course, then I might have another problem, because if I've got a pile of leaf, I don't have piles of like uncorrupted leaves. I don't have just pure leaves. I've got leaves mixed with some dirt, some twigs, and so it'd be interesting to see if those leaf mulchers can actually handle that, or if they're going to get all stopped up because I've got some twigs in with the leaves. Okay, well, I guess I've got a job here to do, so I'm going to get on to it. It is Monday, October 19th. Hey, it's Thursday, October 22nd, and it's getting quite cold here in Portland, Oregon. I don't remember if October would usually get cold like this, but yeah, I wasn't expecting a frost so quickly to come all of a sudden so quickly, but it got down to, I think it got down to like 35 degrees or so last night, and we're expecting when we get into the weekend here, Saturday, Sunday, that it's definitely going to be down in the frost, freezing territory. So that changes my gardening plans for the rest of the week. I've got some begonias behind me that are still in pots. I never got them planted out this year. I'm going to move those into the greenhouse. And then I ordered some emergency frost covering, kind of plant covering stuff that you get, the row cover type stuff that you get off Amazon, that's supposed to arrive tomorrow, Friday. So hopefully get those on some of the plants that are in the ground that I don't want to dig up, because I've got some begonias, but I don't want to take the time to dig them up. So I'm hoping I can just put some of those frost blankets over them for the weekend and see how it goes. I'll let you guys know how it goes. I might lose some plants on that. Otherwise, I mean, I still have tomatoes and peppers and things like that that are still in the field, but yeah, I mean, I expected I would lose them at some point here, so that's fine. They'll probably be done for after this, so I'll try to harvest whatever peppers and different things are on the vine. You know, the other thing that I've been wondering about, I'm not sure, is I've got big pumpkins that I was waiting to come completely orange, and they're like almost there. They've just got a few little streaks of green here and there, and I'm wondering if having them in a frost can hurt the actual pumpkin. So I might just go ahead and harvest those and bring them inside too. I'm not 100% sure. I'll probably have to Google that. So that's what I'm up to today, and yeah. Okay, as you can see, I've got these begonias here. I'm not going to try digging them up. I'm going to try putting these little blankets over them and see if that protects them from the upcoming freeze here in Portland. All right, as you'll see here, I've got a greenhouse full. I've got my eggplants there, some old melon plants here, and then my peppers. So I'm starting to clean this out for winter because we've got frost coming. Brought my stevia plant in, brought my begonias in. Yeah, and just got to make some space. I got some citrus trees in pots about this size out in the garden, so I got to move some room out of these and then move those in here just to help protect them from the frost a little bit. That's what I'm up to. Wanted to record this before it got taken down. This is a kabocha squash vine, and it only got one little kabocha squash there. So I'm gonna go ahead and harvest that and then pull this out. I need to have room for some outdoor pots. Well, this is about as clean as the greenhouse will get until next June. So this is the beginning of the summer to winter changeover of the greenhouse. I removed all the melons that were in pots and were climbing up vines to the ceiling. You can see the kind of the leftover strings there for vines. I still have these are all the eggplants that are still doing okay. We'll see if, you know, the greenhouse only stays 2 to 3 degrees warmer than outside, and it's going to freeze tonight, or it's going to get down to frost. So I think the greenhouse will avoid the frost, but then the next night, it says it's going to be 25 degrees at night. So that'll, even if the greenhouse stays, say 28 degrees, it'll still be frozen. So we'll see kind of what happens with that. But anyway, this will not be nearly as nice and open because I'm going to be moving some tender citrus plants in large pots, the size of those. I get these kind of pots from Costco. Move those large pots in here. I've got at least 3 of them to move in. So yeah, just thought I'd take a video of that here on Friday. Let's see, it's the 23rd of October. Are you kidding? What kind of molehill is it? I mean, I get molehills all over here. You can see the spots behind me, but yeah, I think they're kind of returning to the same spot and just keep digging it out even more or something. But I'll just keep shoveling. Well, here we are the day before the big chill. So I think it's October 24th here, Saturday, and tonight it's supposed to get down to 34 degrees, and then tomorrow, Sunday night, it's saying it's supposed to get down to 25 degrees. So I've been moving a couple of things into the greenhouse. The greenhouse doesn't stay that much warmer than the outside. It's an unheated greenhouse. But I think one of the advantages it has is that, like, I'm standing out here and it's probably feeling a little bit colder than the kind of ambient air temperature, I guess, because of the wind, because of the breeze, which you don't get in the greenhouse. So the greenhouse itself feels a little bit warmer. So you can see kind of the plants I moved in here. I still have these eggplants and these peppers here, which were growing in the greenhouse all season. So they're still okay. They're still going. In fact, you can see some of the peppers have flowers there. I mean, without enough heat, I don't expect these to really produce a lot. But chilies I found actually produce in cooler weather as long as they're not too cold. Oddly enough. So, but anyway, here's what I was moving in. Begonias, and then some of these, I think they're called coleus. They're annuals, so I kind of expect them to die, and then we'll replant them from seed next year. But these are a few citrus trees, 1 lemon, 1 orange, 1 lime. They're not super special in the sense that, I got the trees originally from a Home Depot, and kind of just to experiment to see what would happen. I overwintered them last year. No fruit came on at all this year, but when we first got them the first year, there was some limes on one of them. So we'll see. We'll see if letting them grow some more here, if we start to get flowers and fruit at some point, or if maybe we're shocking them too much with too much cold in the winter. Because like I said, this greenhouse is still not particularly warm. That is a lemongrass there. So. Hello, it is Sunday the 25th, and I'm having a hard time staying warm. I've got a bunch of layers on. I think I need to get one of those gaiters for my face. But yeah, it's really cold out here, unseasonably cold, and it's in the low 40s. It was about 42 degrees just a minute ago here in the day. And then tonight it's supposed to get down to 28 degrees out here. And so, yeah, as I've been telling you for the last couple of days, I've been getting stuff in the greenhouse. And one of the things that let me tell you what else I'm doing today before I get into that. I'm planting garlic. So I've just planted some garlic in the beds back there. It's at the tail end of planting garlic season. When I'm done with planting the garlic, then I'll move on to planting other bulbs. I've got some daffodils and tulips to plant in the various pots and places around the garden. But just trying to stay warm while I do it. I might give up if it gets too cold and hang out in the greenhouse and process the quinoa that I harvested that still needs to be kind of separated from the stems and then cleaned up before it can actually be used. But those are some of the things that I'm working on. The other thing I'm working on is looking over here at the greenhouse. I did stick a kind of just an little electric heater in there, and a little bit surprised because I noted before that the heater didn't really seem to keep things that much warmer, but with it being 42 degrees outside right now, it's 58 degrees inside the greenhouse. So of course the sun is shining a little bit here too, so that's heating it up. So that differential is for sure not all the heater, but if the heater's kind of doing that much, it might keep things from freezing tonight, even though it's going to get down to 28 degrees. So that's my hope anyway.